Hello, hello, hello. This is Gabriel, and I'm very pleased to show you a new feature on Moti, which is the circles feature. So in this video, which I'll make as short as possible, you will be learning on how to work with circles. In other words, how to create a meaningful benchmark or meaningful benchmarks for your survey results. So why circles? Well, it is easier to make sense of survey data when you can compare your results with those of comparable teams. So it could be, other teams in the same department or in your branch or in your national society, for example. You also want to monitor motivation and well-being over time, and so the circles feature allows you to do that. Finally, organizations like national societies want to have aggregated results. So they want to see overall in their organization how motivated are the volunteers, how motivated are the staff. And so what Moti does is it will compile the results from all the different teams in the National Society and provide aggregate results, so average scores for all the teams. So we're going to proceed this way. First we're going to ask ourselves, what is a circle? And after that, we're going to see how we use them. So a circle is a group of teams. It's as simple as that. You have 5 teams in a branch. Well, you can create a circle with these 5 teams. A circle can be a group of circles, so you can put 5 or 6 different branches or circles into one super circle or parent circle that would correspond to the National Society. And you can actually mix teams and circles in a given circle. So circles can follow institutional structure or hierarchy. So for this, I will show you these beautiful diagrams. Here you have a national society with 2 branches, branch 1, branch 2. Actually, no, not even. We're not there yet. Branch 1. This is the branch of a national society with 2 branches. You can't see the other branch. Branch 1 has 3 teams of volunteers and 2 teams of staff. So you can use the circle feature to group the 3 volunteer teams into a circle called Volunteers Branch 1. Or you can the 2 teams of staff, you can group them into the circle called branch staff. Now, you can group these 2 circles into a super circle or parent circle, which would comprise of everyone in branch 1. And you can even take that one step further and group all the branches, branch 1 and branch 2, everyone, into everyone, all branches. So basically, you have aggregated the results of Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D, Team E, Team X, Y, and Z into one super circle or one parent circle, which is basically everyone in that national society. Now, you might not know this, but you will soon enough. The motivational profiles of volunteers and staff are actually quite different for reasons that we can explain and that we explain in another video. But right now, let's just say that volunteers and staff are actually quite different, so there's no point really in grouping them because they're really not that comparable. So it's much more interesting to actually compile all the volunteering teams into one big circle, one parent circle, that would include all the volunteers in that national society. In the same way, you would compile all the teams of staff into one parent circle, staff of all branches in that national society. So all national society staff. And so it sort of looks like this. You can do this simultaneously. And so here you have the hierarchy of a national society with the teams on the left and then the national society on the right and the 2 layers in between, the branch layer and the Nash Society layer. There's another way of visualizing this, and it's with a Venn diagram. So the circles would be the contours of the Venn diagram. So for example, I will group team A, B, and C in one branch. They're volunteers. And the volunteers in branch 2, team X and Y, they're another circle. So this is exactly what I've demonstrated before. It's just presented differently. I can do the same with the staff. So now I have 2 parent circles, Nash Society all volunteers and Nash Society all staff. I can also group everyone in branch 1, as we've seen in the first slides, everyone in branch 2, and then everyone in the National Society. And actually there's another circle that is the circle by default. So that means that if you don't put a team in a circle, it's still in a circle. That circle is a default. It's actually everyone who took the Moti survey. Another way of seeing it, imagine a department with 4 units in orange. So here, every little circle is a human being. So you have in each unit, you have 5 individuals plus a supervisor. So that would be 1 team. So here you have in orange 4 units, 4 teams, each one with 1 supervisor. And all 4 of these supervisors report to the department head in dark blue here. So you can create now 5 teams, 4 units, 4 teams, plus 1 management team. And so the supervisors, they are part of the management team. In other words, they will give feedback to the department head on her leadership style. Well, the members of the teams, of the units in light blue, they provide feedback on the leadership skills of their supervisor in slightly darker blue. So you want the 4 supervisors to be part of the management team. That's when they take the survey. They don't take the survey when they are in the team, right? So this means that in the team that's on the left, you have 5 staff plus 1 supervisor. Only the 5 staff take the survey. The supervisor will take the survey when he's invited by the head of the department to take the survey. So circles can also follow program or service categories. The motivational level of ambulance drivers might be different from those who do first aid training. Ambulance drivers, especially in some difficult countries, might be under stress. They're moving people who are severely injured around, and sometimes the hospital will not accept them, so they have to bring them back to their families, and a pretty stressful job. First aid training, in schools, well, maybe in a high school, but you would not expect the first aid trainers to be as emotionally drained, for example, as the ambulance service drivers. So it would sort of make sense to group the ambulance services, the people working in ambulance services together, and those that work in first aid training together, and to keep them separated as much as you can. And then here the parent circle would be all the services. In this fictitious national society, we only have 2 services. So you can use circles also to see differences over time. So imagine, Team A, team of volunteers in 2020, they do a Moti survey, they do another Moti survey in 2021, a third Moti survey in 2022. Well, you can create a trend circle, basically a normal circle, that will just add up these 3. So you would group the same team with the 3 different years into one circle. And you can do that, for other teams. And when you think of it, you can even do it another way, is you can, in 2020, group the three teams, as we have seen in the previous example. So these are, the volunteers from branch 1 in 2020, and then you do that every subsequent year. And so then you can create a super circle here, or a parent circle, or a trend parent circle, and you can call it any way you want, which is actually the aggregation of the three volunteers branch 1 over the 3 years, which is precisely what we did in the previous slide. So now that you understand the circle concept, you can watch the tutorial about the Moti app on how you manage circles in the app. Bye bye.